Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Surya Koti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kurume Deva Sarvakarishu Sarvada. Om Ganganapate Namaha. Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha. Gurureva Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Sarva Mangala Mangalle Shive Sarvartha Sadike. Sharanyatrambake Gauri Narayani Namostute. Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Mahalakshmi Rupena Samstita. Namaste 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 Namo Namaha. Om Gunatito Aksharam Brahma Bhagavan Purushottamah. Jano Janandidam Satyam Uchate. Bhava Bandhanat. Om Bhagavate Shri Swaminarayanaya Namaha. Shri Lakshmi Narayanaya Namaha. Shri Narnarayanaya Namaha. Shri Radha Krishnaya Namo Namaha. Shri Uma Maheshwara Swamine Namo Namaha. Shri Hanumate Namaha. Welcome to Nitya Satsang. Today is January 1st, 2025, New Year's Day. I want to offer my prostrations to all the great sages and to Bhagavan, the one supreme Parabrahma Paramatma residing in the Atma of every being. And since today is, of course, New Year's Day in the Western calendar, we are beginning a very fresh and beautiful 2025. Lots of good wishes for the whole world, for peace, prosperity, happiness, love, forgiveness, looking for new developments in life. So along those lines, I want to continue from the last 2 days on this sadhana that is called Sankhya Vichar. The actual Gujarati sentence, there's 2 sentences. I'll read them for you here, and then we will explore them further. I've been doing some research on this. Already 129 pages of research have been done on this so far. You know, it's very, very powerful. Its power is so much that it can bring about total freedom psychologically and in all 12 dimensions of one's life. So the sentence is as follows. The way this is spoken in the Swaminarayan Sampradaya, it is spoken like this. Swaminarayan Hare, Swamiye Vaat Karije, Sankhya Vichar Karva Shikho, Ne Sankhya Vina Lobh, Kam, Swad, Sneha, Ne Man, E Panch Dosh, Tatha Adhyatma, Adhibhut, Ne Adhidev, E Tran Tap, E Sarvenu Dukh, Mate Nahi, Ne Sankhya Vina, Ardho Satsang Kevai, Mate Sukhiya Rehvane Arthe, Sankhya Vichar Shikho. This is the sentence that was spoken over 200 years ago. I'm sure Swamiji, he spoke for a long time on this, but one of his disciples wrote down the extract in this one aphoristic statement. Now, to continue from yesterday, please do keep in mind that the word Sankhya is referring to one of the Darshan Shastras. The Darshan Shastra is called Sankhya Darshan. And that darshan is very profound. It talks about Prakriti and Purush. But what is the essence of that darshan? Darshan means vision. The word darshan inside the Sanskrit language, it doesn't mean philosophical, mental contemplation. That has happened and that can happen due to darshan. But darshan means direct vision of reality. So I'm going to explain this a little bit further, then we'll go into these further elaborations here. So, darshan means that to see that the tattvas of Prakriti are ultimately unreal. This is Vedanta darshan. Vedanta darshan means what is real is only the Brahman. But Sankhya darshan says the Prakriti is real and the Brahman is real. Both are real. Yes, nobody is wrong in this because they are visions of the same truth from different angles. So Sankhya Darshan is a vision that the Prakriti is constantly, dynamically in flux. It is a flux. It is fluctuating, changing upon changing. Now to cross-connect the Praylaya concept, Pralay means dissolution. So there are 4 Pralays if you're writing some notes down. 4 Pralays are described in our scriptures. That is Nitya Pralay, Naimitik Pralay, Prakrut Pralay, and Atyantika Pralay. Now, we're going to cross-connect Sankhya Vichar with these 4 pralays. Pralay means what? It is dissolution. Nitya Pralay means it is the passing away of the bodies every single day of countless beings. How many animals, birds, trees, insects, human beings have bodies? The body is being left. Body is dying. The body is gone. Every second it is happening. Every minute it is happening. Every hour it is happening. Every day it is happening. This every second and every hour and every minute and every day, the vision of that is the Sankhya Vichar applied to Nitya Pralay. ध्यान में रखना ये point, बहुत important point है. And this is a sadhana. This is very practical sadhana. To sit for ध्यान, भगवान की जो मूर्ति है घर में अथवा मंदिरों में, बड़े बड़े संतों हैं उनको प्रणाम करना और सांख्य विचार की साधना हम कर सकते हैं. जो मुक्त स्थिति में जाना है तो if you want to realize the जीवन मुक्त state, this is a master key. And this is very necessary to go further into the Upanishads, which we will go back into a little bit later on. How to do the dhyan? By recognizing that every second, everything we see outside, it is only a heartbeat away from not existing anymore. Meaning the Prakriti. The Prakriti, that is, Prakriti means everything in Prakriti. It's just a matter of time. Let's use a very simple example. Let's say you have a pet at home. Let's say we have a bird at home. We used to have, when we were growing up, we used to have birds. For years and years, different birds we used to have, But you know what happens when you bring a pet at home? Even a small parakeet bird or lovebird or any kind of bird you bring, the bird lives for some time, maybe a year, 2 years. It doesn't live very long. Some birds live longer depending on the species. But if they pass away, how much pain we experience inside. Even if you have a small neon fish, get a neon fish sometime and see how attachment works. Buy one neon fish from a store. It might cost 10 cents only. That's what they were charging at one point. Doesn't even cost $1. It costs like 10 or 20 cents. One tiny little neon. Bring it home with you. And you will feed that every day. We will develop attachment towards that little neon fish. Attachment is natural in life. That is how the sansara works. But you will notice the Sankhya Vichar means what? If you bring the small fish or the small animal or anything, use that very simple example. Jnana drishti mein kya hai? Atma is nitya. The body is going to go. Body is here. The Jivatma is experiencing its world through that body. The Jivatma, every Jivatma has a body, is given a sharir, is experiencing the world of Prakriti through that body. That body is going to go. It is only there for a short time. Realizing this, knowing this, internalizing this, seeing the body and that particular being with this vision is Sankhya Vichar as applied within Nitya Pralay. See this. Our big mistake is that we know that things are temporary, but our mind has a very strong tendency to hold on to everything that is temporary as if it is permanent. Kitni badi bhool hai, kitni badi, it is in Gujarati we say, ketli moti bhool chhe, motta moti bhool chhe. I'm not sure if I heard it in Marathi, I could say it, I just don't know the language. I mean, I know the language and I cannot speak it that well, that's all. You see, so it is a massive mistake. It is the number one mistake we make which prevents Vairagya from opening inside of us. And remember, we said it so many times before, Vairagya doesn't mean you run away from the home or you start disliking animals and people and saying, oh, this is all meaningless and useless. That's not Vairagya. That is a reactionary psychological condition in the misunderstanding of Vairagya. When Vairagya is misunderstood, it is reactionary. It is not Vairagya. It is Dvesha. Dvesha means dislike. Oh, get rid of this, get rid of this, get rid of this. No, having some boundaries with renunciation has benefit. But Vairagya is not some reactionary state towards the sansar. That's what Gunatitanand Swami is teaching us. He's saying that Sankhya Vichar karvo, karva shikvo, learn how to do this. It is just an internal reopening. It is an opening of a very different and new vision of living in this world. The living doesn't change. Our breathing and eating and interacting with the people around us doesn't change. You know what changes? Our sense that things are permanent, people are permanent, is gone. So because that goes, or when that goes by application of Sankhya. Sankhya meaning, see, Sankhya really means counting. Sankhya. This is the word Sankhya. So Sankhya means it's a counting of the tattvas. And then the meditation on that is to recognize that they keep changing and they're just going to change into something else. That's all it is. That's all it is. So then what is the quality of our antakarana when we engage in this contemplative vision of Nitya Praylaya? Praylaya means dissolution. Nitya means happening every day. It is a meditative, reflective contemplation to sit with a jap mala. Bhagwan ki jo mala hai, you can see I'm wearing one right here, right? The 108 beads are so beautiful. Bhagwan ka jo naam aapko jo priya hai, Shiv naam, Ram naam, Krishna naam, Swaminarayan Bhagwan ka naam, Jesus का नाम, गुरु नानक देव का नाम, जो आपकी इच्छा. भगवान तो एक ही है, वो एकम सत विप्रहा बहुधा वदन्ति. It's not anything two, दो है ही नहीं वो तत्व एक ही है. Approach any which way you want, Christianity, Judaism, Islam, Hindu traditions, any tradition, परमात्मा का स्वीकार करना और उनका नाम लेना. So when we take the name of God, Nama Japa, that is Satya. So we take the name of God through the vision and inner realization of Nitya Praylaya. Many people take the name of God. Thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions are praying to Bhagwan in their own way throughout the whole world, every day. Massive numbers of people. But the deficiency is in praying or in meditating or connecting with Paramatma, Bhagwan. The deficiency is in trying to do this without the realization of Nitya Praylaya. That is, Sankhya. Sankhya means is to realize days are limited. The bodies come and go. Bodies become old. It's a constant cycle of birth and death. Bodies come and go. But that Nitya Tattva, that Parabrahma Tattva doesn't come and go. That kind of, that realization, once it is established inside, it is the pratishtapanam of Nitya Praylaya vision. Nitya Praylaya Drishti. Right now, what do we have, most of us? We are looking at this world as if it is permanent, even though we know it is not. This is how we live in this world. And we need stability and a sense of harmony and some sense of consistency. We need that. Security we need. See, because at one level, our mind needs security. Yes, you need financial security, you need shelter security. The Maslow's hierarchy of needs in our other programs, we've talked about those things. We need those securities. Yes, and that has to be there. If it's not there, we will not be able to go further. Nonetheless, even though it is there, food, water, clothing, shelter, etc., basic needs, emotional needs, psychological needs, but at the same time, along with this, the vision, the realization that every person we see, every body, not everybody, every body we see, cat, dog, human, elephant, tiger, mouse, whatever, every body, squirrel, every body we see, it is a bubble. It is only a bubble of Prakriti. That is all it is. That is not the actual Tattva. This is Sankhya Darshan. This is the essence of Kshetra Kshetragna Yoga in chapter 13 of the Gita. Yes, for those who are studying Gita, if you go into the commentaries of the Gita, and particularly like Naneshwari and all, you will see that Sant Naneshwar in the original Marathi has given a fantastic, the whole Gita commentary, it's not just a commentary, it's a very powerful interconnected conversation that he has extended. Amazing. In the original Marathi, if you read that, it's really very powerful. Kshetra Kshetragna. What is the essence? Kshetragna is the Atma Tattva. Jisko Atma Drishti hote. Can we develop Atma Drishti to see through, like a X-ray vision, through the body into the Atma? This is where the Sankhya Vichar comes into the picture. This is where Nitya Praylaya comes into the picture. This is where that extraordinary verse from the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Gavihastini Shuni Chaiva Shapakecha Panditaha Samadarshinaha. One of Sachin's favorite shlokas. All shlokas are favorite, but this is like something that has always stayed with me. And there's a shlok in the Hindu temples that is, when we were growing up, we used to see that all the time. Yo mam pashyati sarvatra sarvam cha mai pashyati tasyaham na pranashyami sachamena pranashyati. See me everywhere and see everyone and everything in me truly sees. That is that beautiful verse. Yo mam pashyati sarvatra. This is the vision. It is called Brahma Drishti. Drishti means vision. See, we just see names and forms through our eyes. But the capacity to see through the name and form and the mind-body complex straight into the Atma Tattva and the Paramatma Tattva residing in the Atma Tattva, that is the ultimate Brahma Drishti. And that Brahma Drishti is available and possible, and it opens when there is Brahma Sthiti. Jab prema hi ananta ho gaya, Roma Roma Santa ban gaya. I heard somebody say this in one pravachan one time. That Brahma Drishti, to see the Brahman only through the names and forms. Even the names and forms are another aspect of that Brahman. That is pure Advaita. That is called Brahma Drishti. So now we can see this pulling together of this bridge. So the Sankhya Vichar is the main sadhana for Vairagya and Jnana. Okay, Vichar meaning it's a vision, it's an opening of a vision. How to open it? Nitya Praylaya ka dhyan karna. We won't talk about the other three pralayas. Those are wo jara upar ki level ki baat hai. Stay with this Nitya Praylaya only. That's enough. Don't need to worry about the other four at this stage. The other three. Some other time we'll get into that. That Nitya Pralyaya is enough for Purna Vairagya. And with Purna Vairagya, not partial Vairagya. There's no such thing as partial Vairagya. Vairagya is 100% or it is not there. ये कोई partial Vairagya नहीं है, partial ज्ञान, ऐसा कुछ है ही नहीं. If one who is a ज्ञानी, जिसको ज्ञानी कहते हैं, वो पूर्ण ज्ञानी ही होता है. There's no such thing as, Ardho Gnani, as we say in Gujarat. There's no such thing as that. It's ridiculous to say that. That person is in Agnan still. Even if 99% opening is there, still some mixture of Agnan is there, still there is Agnan. still that person cannot be called a pura gyani. The Purnatva has to come. And that is वो एक बहुत अलग बात है. Sachin is speaking about it, doesn't mean we have that. We are trying to realize that thing by contemplating on these ideas. Purna Gyan, Purna Vairagya, Purna Dharma, Purna Bhakti, बहुत आगे की बात है. It doesn't happen, it doesn't happen but it can. It can. If we want it, it can happen. क्या चाहिए? जीवन में क्या चाहिए? See, we want dharma, artha, kama, moksha, right? 4 purusharth. Most people just want this sansarik, rajsik sukh. And then they hurt others, hurt themselves, and then they die like that. That's all that happens. इसमें से कुछ मिलता नहीं है. Rajoguna Mahashana, that beautiful verse. What is that verse? Ragadvesh, no, I'm trying to remember from the Gita. It's about the Rajogun, and in the translation of that verse is that the great seers see the binding power of Rajogun, Rajsik Vritti, and they recognize that it is going to bind and thrash the individual again and again and again and again, to evolve out of Rajsik into Satvik, from Satvik into Nirgun. Nirgun meaning that divinity itself. Kama esha krodha esha rajoguna samudbhava mahashano mahapapma vidya ena iha vairinam. That is the verse actually. Vidya ena iha vairinam. Vairinam, the word is used in Marathi. I've heard that word in Marathi language. See, these languages, they come from the Sanskrit actually, Vidya ena iha vairinam. It means it's an inner enemy. It is an enemy sitting inside our own mind that is damaging us all the time. The Rajogun, no doubt, has its place. Limited to some extent, but we are running after the Rajsik Bhav. More sex, more money, more pleasure, more this, more that. What is it? It's damaging the brain. It's damaging the body. It's damaging everything in this world today. Why is that? Because of Rajoguna. Because of mistaking the Rajogun experience for Ananda, which it is not. And this is where Sankhya Vichar comes into the picture, Nitya Praylaya comes into the picture, all the other sadhanas. It is all interconnected where? Within us. Within the sadhak, within the bhakta, within our own heart, the entire satsang can become alive and awakened from inside of us. It is an antarik awakening. Satsanga is not something just outside. We have temples and mandirs and murtis and scriptures and gurus and rituals, and endless number are there. In Sanatan Dharma, for example. Kitna hai? Iska koi ant nahi hai. Go to any mandir, you'll find so many, endless number of scriptures and rituals and languages, and fine. That's the beauty, that's the diversity. But I'll close with this point. We'll close with this point, that it has to synthesize inside. It has to coalesce inside. Otherwise, it is simply, it's just on the surface. Thoda sanskar hota hai. It's on the surface. It's not digested. I'll give you an example. I'll give you a very simple example from our life. Let's say you have a dish. We'll close with this one. You have a dish with 7 food items, whatever they are. You have some rice, you have some khichdi, maybe you have some curry, you have some, I don't know, some whatever it is. Whatever 7 items, your favorite 7 items are there. Some sweet is there. They all are in their own place. Then you start eating them. But where do they, as soon as you start chewing them, they break down, swallow, and then goes into the stomach. Everything goes into one place. Everything becomes one. It becomes combined. It breaks. It's all broken down, and then it's absorbed. Satsang is like this. Satsang is not something just outside. It has to come inside of us, just like the food. Food has no significance unless we eat it, we chew it, we swallow it, and then it gets digested. And then it has to be absorbed inside. Even sometimes the food is inside the stomach, but there's some problem in the digestion, vomit. This is what happens. This is why we don't realize God. ये जो भगवान और भगवान के जो बड़े बड़े संत है, उन्होंने जो उपदेश दिया है, the things that they have taught, many people are listening to them. Many people are even swallowing it in the stomach. But you know what they do? 1 hour later, they vomit the whole thing out, throw it out. इसीलिए इसकी ब्राह्मी स्थिति नहीं होती, मुक्ति नहीं होती, because it is a vomiting out of the satsang rather than internalizing it and really churning it inside. वो एक जो खोजेगा वो पाएगा. One who actually does this will realize God without any question. And one who doesn't do it and keeps vomiting it out, I'm sorry to use that analogy, but that is the perfect analogy, because that is what people are doing. Bhajan kirtan karte, if those who are doing it, not everybody is doing it, even those who are doing that, those who are doing all this satsang, sadhana, etc., at some point they take all that thing and throw it out. Ahankar takes it and throws it away. It doesn't stay inside. That's why Vedanta teaches us Shravan, Manan, Nididhyasana and Sakshatkar. Shravan kiya satsang ka. Manan chintan kiya, bhajan bhakti ki. Now let it absorb. Iska manan kijiye. Mananam. It's internal. Contemplation. More and more mananam. Then Nididhyasanam. Nididhyasanam is higher contemplation, more interconnection. And then it gets absorbed inside. That is sakshatkar. The realization, wo jo Nitya Praylaya ka realization hota hai. Sachin has spoke about last 25 minutes about Nitya Praylaya. But if I don't contemplate on that and do my own sadhana with the grace of God and gurus, it's meaningless. It will just remain on the surface. It'll be a recording or something here or there. That's all. It won't mean anything for this sadhak. So that is the path we can take. So let's stop here for now. We'll talk another day or so on this. There's a lot more. There's so much more. I mean, we're just scratching the surface of this Sankhya Vichar. But that's the way life goes. So anyway, Om Dhyanamulam Gurur Murtihi Mantramulam Gurur Vakyam Pujamulam Gurur Padam Mokshamulam Gurur Krupa Om Divilingaya Namaha Urdhvalingaya Namaha Anandalingaya Namaha Dvadesh Jyotirlingaya Namo Namaha Om Trambakam Yajame Sugandim Pushtivardhanam Urvarkamiva Bandhanan Mritvarmukshya Amritat Om Aim Rim Klim Chamundaye Viche Om Durga Durga Rakshini Tata Swaha Om Shri Radha Krishna Arpanamastu Om Hrim Swaha.